Welcome back to the Fantasy Endgame. I'm Pierre, here to give you some fantasy baseball advice. Now that we're a week removed from the All-Star break, just a couple days away from the trade deadline, things are going to get really interesting down the stretch here. Let me talk about some more pitchers that I like off the waiver wire heading into next week. Let's start with a guy I really didn't expect to discuss at all this year because, well, early on he was not fantasy relevant to say the least. That's Irvin of the Oakland A's. This is a guy who's never really been someone who's a high-end arm, doesn't have elite velocity, elite stuff on a bad team. But whatever he's doing, it is working, and that has extended to his last several starts. He's won 4 of the last 5 starts. He's gone at least 6 innings in 6 straight games, and in all of those starts, he has not allowed more than 2 earned runs. Really good stuff there. Not a huge strikeout rate. That's really the only knock on him at this point. But the way he's pitching, you just can't leave him out there anymore. Stream him. Even I made the mistake of ignoring him because he was going up against the Astros for his last start and thought that is not a good matchup. This might be where he gets exposed. No, it was the other way around. He totally dominated the Astros, continuing that streak. He actually has a really good matchup next going against the Angels. We know the Angels without Mike Trout. Rendon is out for the season. They're basically done as far as being contenders, so it's a good time to get that lineup too. Irvin, at this point, take a chance on him and see if he continues it. Now, another Oakland A I'm looking at, but this is somebody in the bullpen, and that is AJ Puk. This is kind of an interesting situation here. We're always looking for saves, right? Always trying to get somebody off the waiver wire, especially if you mix and match closers and you didn't go early in your draft on a closer. So Puk just picked up his 2nd save of the season. Does that mean he's a new closer? Here's the thing. Lou Trevino has been serving that role. I recommended streaming him for the short term because we know there's a good chance he gets traded to be a setup man for another team somewhere else. Trevino really hasn't been pitching that well lately anyways, and so that's why Puk came in and earned a save because Trevino got knocked around first. I don't think Trevino is the answer the rest of the season, even if he does remain on Oakland's roster. What's going to complicate things is Danny Jimenez, who was doing really well until he got hurt. He is set to come back pretty soon from the IL. So who's going to be the guy in the 9th inning? Is it Puk? Is it Jimenez? It might be both, right? You got the lefty there, Puk. Guy, I think they probably really want to have that role. Such a huge prospect years ago before injuries just kept derailing him. If he's finally healthy and he's looking good, which lately he has, I think Puk has a good chance to continue to get the saves, but it also could be kind of a committee there. But either way, you're going to get value from Puk. He strikes out over a batter per inning, get the occasional save there. He can help you out with your ratios. So I do like AJ Puk, but also don't ignore Jimenez if he's floating out there because he wasn't stashed on IL. Now you're really desperate for saves. We'll take a look at Mychal Givens of the Cubs. Dave Robertson, also a guy heavily rumored to be on the trading block because he's a Cub. If he goes, Givens is a guy who is next in line. He does have some experience closing games. He's got 31 career saves. He did just pick up a save the other day. He won't get you a ton of saves because he's not on a good team. But look, you're desperate. You need some saves down the stretch. Maybe one of your guys who's a closer gets flipped, gets hurt, whatever. It happens. It never hurts to have too many bullpen arms. So Givens, he's striking out 29% of batters. He should be next in line. This is a good time to grab him ahead of the deadline before he does become a closer. Now back to the starting pitcher ranks. What about Jose Quintana, a guy who's currently a Pirate, was formerly a Cub. Also a White Sox at one point. Quintana has been solid. I actually recommended him a while back because he's been helping your ratios. 3.7 ERA, 1.28 whip, and he's been going out there every 5th day, giving you a good amount of innings, thrown 97 innings already this year. Solid, not amazing strikeout rate, right? 85 Ks in those 97 innings. He's getting the job done. The only thing he's really not doing is getting wins because, those are hard to come by in Pittsburgh. Only 3 wins on the year. But if he does go to a contender, as is heavily rumored, then all of a sudden he's got a really good chance to get wins and he doesn't have to go as deep into games. Quintana is a guy who should see his value get a boost. Might go from kind of a serviceable, decent back-end rotation guy to pretty good, maybe mid-rotation arm. All right, and then if you're looking for a late season flyer, someone with upside, but also a lot of risk, you need to take that gamble. maybe Domingo is the one you're looking for. Going to get a lot of publicity because he's on the Yankees. He's a very interesting player. We know that at one point, 2019, he won 18 games. He was part of that rotation. He was getting the job done, but suspension, long suspension, injuries, especially this year, have really set him back. Didn't know what to expect from him. He finally made his comeback last week in the rotation. He got knocked around, but look, his first start at the major league level of this season, it's to be expected. It was against a tough Astros team. He's someone worth monitoring because we know his talent is real. He's on a great team, so Germán is someone you might consider stashing if you're feeling lucky and see if he delivers. And then finally, I just want to throw out there again, if you haven't added Brady Singer, now's the time. He is absolutely on a roll. I've mentioned him a couple of times already, but look, in 4 July starts, he's got a 2.66 ERA and he struck out 32 batters. He's someone who's showed a lot of consistency as of late. He's someone who's shown the ability to strike out batters at a high clip lately, and that's something that we were waiting for. He's mainly a sinker ball pitcher, pitch to contact, but he's shown that he can generate whiffs, and I really am so glad because that's what I've been waiting for. Maybe the light bulb has gone on for him, and he can take that next step forward. So I don't care what happens with this next start for him. He's someone I'm definitely invested in, and I'm going to pick him up in several places because I'm in way too many leagues this year. All right, those are my favorite picks for the waiver wire as far as pitchers go this week. It's going to be interesting. Keep tuned next week. We'll give you some more post-deadline reaction and some hot waiver wire picks. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of them. All right, guys, thanks for watching.